Max Carter's hands gripped the steering wheel as he drove deeper into Hollow Creek. The rain battered his windshield, blurring the eerie silhouette of the abandoned town ahead. Locals had warned him. They said the place was cursed, but Max was skeptical. As he entered the town, the silence was overwhelming. Not a single person in sight. His car's headlights flickered then. The town's lights flickered too, as if something was waiting for him. He stopped the car at the old, crumbling inn. "This is the place," Max muttered, but the words felt wrong. The door creaked open, and he stepped into the darkness. The air inside the inn was thick with dust. The floorboards groaned under Max's weight as he stepped carefully, his flashlight cutting through the darkness. He noticed strange symbols etched into the walls, and an overwhelming feeling of dread washed over him. The silence seemed too loud. Max's heart raced as he heard faint whispers from somewhere in the back. "Who's there?" he called out, but no response. As he walked deeper, the temperature dropped suddenly, his breath forming small clouds in the freezing air. The whispers grew louder, clearer now. They sounded like pleading. Max turned the corner and frowned. A figure stood at the end of the hall. A woman, her face pale, her eyes hollow. She was staring right at him. Max's voice caught in his throat. "Who are you?" he asked, his words trembling. The woman didn't move. Instead, her lips parted, and the whispering grew louder. "Leave this place, or you will never leave." Max took a step back, but the figure didn't follow. It stayed there, motionless. Max's skin crawled. The voice of the woman echoed in his head, urging him to leave, but Max, driven by curiosity, pushed forward. As he made his way to the staircase, something caught his eye, a worn, tattered book on the ground. He bent to pick it up, and the moment his fingers touched it, a loud crash echoed from the upstairs. The whispers turned into screams, agonizing, desperate. Max's heart pounded. The inn didn't want him here. It was alive, hungry. Max rushed upstairs, heart racing. The book was open now, its pages turning on their own. It detailed the history of Hollow Creek, once a thriving town, now a ghost town, cursed by an ancient spirit. The whispers grew frantic as he read. "Find the heart of the curse before it finds you." Max felt a chill race down his spine. Suddenly, the room grew colder, and the shadows on the walls began to move. Figures emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing a haunting shade of red. Max stumbled back, panic rising in his chest. The shadows reached for him, their cold, clammy hands brushing against his skin. He tried to run but found himself trapped. He turned, his eyes searching for an escape. That's when he saw it at the far end of the hallway, a door that wasn't there before. A faint, pulsing light seeped from the cracks. With no other choice, Max rushed toward the door, the shadows closing in. His heart pounded in his ears, and the whisper seemed to follow him. Max pushed open the door and stepped into a chamber unlike any he had ever seen. It was vast, filled with ancient symbols glowing faintly on the walls. In the center of the room was an altar, and on it a strange, pulsating heart. It was beating, as though alive. The whispers came from it, swirling around him, calling him closer. Max's instincts screamed at him to turn back, but his feet moved of their own accord. As his hand reached out, the room went silent. The heart stilled, and then the ground shook. The air turned thick, suffocating. The heart began to pulse faster, and with each beat, the walls trembled. Max tried to pull back, but the air seemed to hold him in place, pressing against him, forcing him closer. Suddenly, a low growl echoed from the shadows. A figure stepped into the light. Its eyes glowed with the same red hue. It was the woman from earlier, but her face was twisted, contorted with rage. "You shouldn't have come," she hissed. her voice dripping with malice. Max's body trembled as she advanced. The woman reached out, her fingers like claws. Max backed up, but the room seemed to shrink, the walls pressing in from all sides. He had no way out. "You must make a choice," the woman whispered, her voice now inside his head. "Leave this place, or become a part of it forever." Max looked around, his breath shallow. The whispers had turned into screams, each voice a plea for help. Max knew he couldn't leave without destroying the heart, but could he? Max grabbed the heart with both hands, feeling its pulsing rhythm. The moment he did, a deafening roar filled the room. The shadows screamed, and the ground beneath him cracked open. With one final push, he threw the heart into the abyss. The room shook violently, the walls collapsing around him. Max ran, barely escaping the collapsing in, but as he reached the door, he heard the whispers again. "You cannot escape." The door slammed behind him, and Hollow Creek was silent once more.